name is Cham Edussuriya. I used to teach. I was a teacher. And right now I still teach, but I focus on health and nutrition and cooking classes. I work here at SC Youth Garden, and I also work with another nonprofit, Generate Hope. And then I also have private clients that I focus on with nutrition, wellness, and health. But it is important for me to teach people how to cook. I think that's something that's missing in a lot of people's lives, including people in my generation. But I know that's what I saw in the classroom is a lot of parents were struggling because they didn't learn how to cook. And so they weren't able to teach their children how to cook. And so a lot of children were not having homemade meals. They didn't understand the importance of eating homemade food. Then we're gonna add our liquid, which honestly, we needed more eggs. If we're talking about improving a child's brain and body and focusing on their education, what we put into their body is going to be just as important. So I took that role on in my classroom, and I focused a lot on nutrition and cooking in the classroom. And then I built a business out of it when I left teaching. Being self-employed puts you into kind of an entrepreneur category, especially because everything is just me. So I have to promote myself and put myself out there. And as I said, being a teacher, that's not something I'm very used to. I'm not used to marketing. I'm not used to all the social media and technology even. So it's definitely been a huge challenge of mine to try to figure out how to do that. But I think working locally with nonprofits and locally in the community is way more impacting and important for me. As a community, we are stronger. So at the moment, I'm focusing on building relationships within the community rather than me going out on my own and trying to pursue something on my own. What motivates me the most is honestly thinking about the future, not in a grim or we have to fix it way, but in a we need to pass the torch on from the past generations to the future generations. Obviously, we need to adapt to a changing world, but it's also important to pass on our history, our traditions, our ancestry, our ancestral wisdom, our culture. Absolutely, 100%. I think passing on our culture to the future generations is very, very important. And for me, I think being mindful of that. We all have different paths, we all have different histories, and I think it's important to honor that for each person. Having young adults being diagnosed with more symptoms of health-related symptoms or diseases or things. This is why I got involved in this, I think, because it is so important that we focus on health at an early age. As a baby that's walking like a toddler, that's the time to start, when they're able to carry something. So even as basic as just spreading butter on toast or giving them some kind of a child-friendly tool to cut carrots or even whisk an egg, yes, that child is going to make a big mess. It's so much more about integrating the mind and the body and helping build independence as well, because the more a child can have autonomy of themselves, the more they're going to want to learn and want to do more for themselves as they get older. Food brings people together in so many ways, but it's just a natural part of who we are. I think from the days of hunting and gathering, we have had to be, again, in community, and the idea of a communal meal has always been part of every human civilization. I think it's only in the last less than 100 years has it become so isolated and so lonely. And this is why the idea of having a shared meal is so important. And I think we feel better when we can share a meal together. We feel connected to each other. not only feeds your stomach or your body, it feeds your soul. And I think that is such a beautiful thing when you get to share, the person cooking or the multiple people cooking get to share their love of their food, and the love gets transmitted through the food. But then the people who are there get to experience that moment, and they get to participate.
Don't be scared. It's not going to hurt you. Ooh, she's surprised at how good it is.
A lot of times we have wonderful conversations, be it personal stories, politics, religion. Sometimes these are the best times that we get to share who we are with each other is over a meal. I think I'm blessed right now in my life that I can offer my services in a way that we need to support each other. We need to support our community now more than ever. We need to be there for each other.